And it's July 26th. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on clavesonline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey, as we are presented to you each and every weekday by Mungenast, St. Louis Acura, and Royal Banks of Missouri. Rammer, the Cardinals dropped 2 of 3 to the Reds, and I don't know if the offense needs the off day today, but the pitching staff definitely could use the day off.
Well, a couple of things. On Friday on the show, I said the Cardinals were on the negative side of each pitching matchup, and that proved to be true. And I'm glad that you said it what I believe to be the right way, that they lost 2 of 3. I know a lot of folks, and I appreciate positivity. I really do. Oh, the Cardinals salvaged No, they didn't salvage anything. Winning 1 out of 3 is a sure way to be in last place. Certainly not a contender. It was not a good showing in Cincinnati. There are signs, some little signs of the offense picking up, but I'm not as, and I know we're going to get into it, I'm probably not as gung-ho as you are.
Let's get right into it, because I want to talk a lot about Harrison Bader and what he has done this season. I don't know. Are you familiar with the story that came out? I believe it was on Reddit back in May about an off-season procedure that Harrison Bader had.
No.
I guess he had polyps in his nose that were getting to be so, I guess, unbearable at the plate that his eyes would tear up as he was standing there at the plate, and it was something that he had removed this offseason. And just somebody on Reddit posted this story about it. And with Harrison Bader's injuries throughout most of the early part of the season, we haven't been able to really see him get going. But during the times that he was hitting, we saw that it looked like a new Harrison Bader. Jeff Jones of the Belleville News-Democrat just wrote a story on it the other day where he talked to Bader, asked him about this story, and Bader confirmed that, yes, it was a simple procedure like that I guess has him in, less annoying pain. I would say is that what it sounds like, that is allowing him to focus more on hitting. And we saw the graphic last week during the game that he is swinging and missing a lot less. He's putting a lot more balls in play. He's hitting the ball harder. And the way that Harrison Bader is hitting right now, he does not need to be hitting 7th or 8th in this lineup. He needs to be moved up. And even if this is a brief hot streak that he's on, the Cardinals need to bottle this up and hit him 1st or 2nd in this lineup and move everybody else back 1. And as you talk about a lot on the show, lengthen the lineup for the foreseeable future.
You unpacked a whole bunch there. Let's go through some things step by step. If he had that procedure and it makes him feel better, and even if the direct relationship to the performance is in his head, that's okay with me. I'm a big believer in placebo. Makes you feel better, go ahead and do it. And there's no doubt at any level, at any metrics, Harrison Bader destroyed the month of July. Absolutely destroyed it. But he also was absolutely horrible in May. So, which is the real guy? Everyone wants to think it's July Bader, not May Bader. And that's okay with me. What you've got to be careful of as you construct your lineup is chasing the stats. You don't want to use a guy at the tail end of his hot streak. You want to try and find that hot streak, ride it, and know when to get off. Know when to let go of the rope on the bull and let the rodeo clown come save you. You need to know when to get off. So you don't really think that he's 1,000 OPS hitter, correct?
I okay. Don't.
That's all I want to know.
Yeah. Okay.
So where do we say, okay, at 1,000 OPS, we know this is this is Hall of Fame stuff, but who is the real guy? And that's Mike Schilt's job. I'm with you. And in fact, we probably should have talked about it a week or 10 days ago when we saw what he was doing and not striking out as much. I think what I would do if I were there is probably just go ahead and put him 1 and have Carlson drop to 5. That's probably what I would do.
So you're keeping Goldschmidt and Arenado at 2-3.
Yeah, that's
okay.
probably what I would do. Again, the manager has far more information, not just with offensive metrics, but who's feeling good, who needs a day, who's got a nagging injury. Get a feel for if a guy's fighting it a little bit, all those kinds of things. But I think I would probably put Bader 1 and let him be a catalyst.
Let me ask you this, though, with your lineup construction there. With somebody like Dylan Carlson, who is in his first full season in Major League Baseball, we saw him last year start off hitting kind of middle to lower in the lineup, but then by the postseason was hitting cleanup for this team. And then this year started off hitting 6th or 7th, was then moved up to 2nd in the order, and now leading off. Do you worry about moving him around that much if you're putting him down in 5th? That's why I say just move him back. And if you're putting Bader 1, just move Carlson to 2, or put Bader right after Carlson.
Well, here's the other thing.
And move everybody else down 1.
If we're going to follow the hot numbers, we should also follow the cold numbers. I think that's logical. And Carlson's had a pretty miserable July. He had a back-to-back games where he went crazy, but his July numbers are not good. I'd like to ease him back, and he may or may not be feeling pressure. This is another thing that's an internal thing in the clubhouse, and he doesn't look like a guy who feels pressure. He always looks calm and controlled. I think I would move him to 5th. If you did move guys down, that's okay too. I wouldn't be opposed to that. What I might do though is put Bader 2 because of the power he's shown.
Yeah, and then you have that speed also. I mean, no matter what, you have his speed right in front of Arenado and Goldschmidt. Arenado this weekend hit his 20th home run of the season, which leads all third basemen in baseball right now. So he's shown that the offense and the defense is there. He's given you everything that you traded for this offseason. The rest of the team, the same cannot be said, which brings us to this week, which is trade deadline week, the trade deadline on Saturday. By listening to Mo's comments, it doesn't sound like any move is that imminent. They went out and they got some pitcher from Toronto and traded him for cash and put him in AAA. And I have a feeling you're just going to see a lot more of just going out and picking up random arms here and there that other teams don't want, that you're hoping you can flip into somebody that can get you out to the big league level without walking people. That's
until your veterans come back.
And that's the thing. Jack Flaherty starts this week in Memphis, probably his first of 4 starts that he's going to get down in Memphis before coming back up. Miles Michaelis threw 60 pitches the other day in a simulated bullpen. So you're going to get both of those guys back. Miles Michaelis has thrown 3-4 innings since 2019. I don't know what you can expect out of that. Flaherty, I hope they move him at a pace where he comes back and he's right there as your number 1 pitcher. But as you go into this trade deadline week, do you have the hope of anything happening at all? Like do you hope that you know the name of any of the pitchers they go out and pick up?
That Joe is the litmus test. Have I heard of this guy?
Right.
If I've heard of him, let's call it a good deal.
I think I'm 0 for 5. I'm 0 for 5 so far. When you look at LeBlanc, McFarland, Miller, Garcia, and now I couldn't even tell you who they just got from the Blue Jays. So I'm 0 for on all these guys right now.
Yeah, give me a guy I've heard of, and we'll just call it okay. That's a win, and we'll move on.
Right. That's what I'm at. And now it seems we saw the Padres. They've made a move now.
Oh wow!
They went and they got Adam Frazier from the Pirates, so that takes him out of the division. And I saw the Pirates or the Padres are going to kind of take the Cardinals approach to things, where they're just going to go get guys and throw them anywhere. They were about to go try. The reports say that they were going to trade for Trevor Story and put him in center field. Yeah. And just say, hey, you know what? Go play out there. We don't care about defense. We just want your bats.
We're going to hit. We're just going to hit.
And they don't. They don't need Frazier's an infielder. They don't need him in that infield. They're just going to put him somewhere and just say,
put him in left field probably.
Yeah, and just go hit. Just whatever happens in the outfield.
Yeah. They'll play him and Pham and Will Myers and they'll just have a stud lineup. And they are so much fun to watch already. Now you add another guy. Does he hit? Then where will he hit? It doesn't really matter. You can just stack your guys up.
Yeah, so they're out there doing that, and now the Nationals, it looks like they've put Trey Turner on their trade block. 28-year-old, probably the best shortstop in the game right now.
I think he's one of the best half dozen, maybe 10 players in the game. I just think he's an unbelievable player.
So, I mean, if you're the Cardinals, Paul DeYoung's hitting 203. Do you just hand them?
July though? He had a good July.
Do you just hand them your roster of minor league teams and say, hey, if the name's not Libator or Gorman, you can have them, just start listing names?
Well, I don't think that's how general managers approach it, Joe. Maybe.
I wouldn't know. I'm just throwing ideas out there. I don't know how it works.
Let's circle back and put a bow on the whole broadcast here, podcast. And that is, if you're going to follow hot numbers and cold numbers, O'Neill's been very hot in July. And so who is this guy? Who is, I said O'Neill, I'm sorry, DeYoung. Who is DeYoung? He had a really good July. So are you going to ride him out? Have you soured on him and he's not the shortstop for the next few years? If you've decided that as an organization, yeah, maybe it is time to make a look and making a big deal like that. That does not generally seem to fit John Mozeliak's MO, but if he thought he could get a deal for this guy and keep him around to put him with Goldschmidt and Arenado and then the young guys around him and have a nice core for 3-4 more years before some guys age out, it would be a pretty remarkable deal. I would be shocked if the Cardinals did it.
I would be too. At this point, yes, I would be very shocked by it, but it's just wishful thinking leading into to the week of the trade deadline. I would like to see the Cardinals do something. We were robbed of a fun trade deadline last year. I want to see a fun trade deadline with moving parts everywhere.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals, and no one said this. This is just me trying to follow them over the decades. I think the Cardinals internally are saying maybe we'll get hot, and if Flaherty, Michaelis, and Hicks can come back and play, maybe we'll make a run for it. But we're not going to give anything up that we value because we don't really like the odds of contending. I believe internally that's what they feel.
By the way, Rammer, speaking of the Padres, my hat today, this is the Lake Elsinore Storm right here. That's the Padres single A affiliate.
Yeah, that's a great lid. I've seen those before, and it looks good on you.
Well, it's my son, so it looks small on me. So
I just thought your head was growing.
No, not yet. If I would have gotten Kisner's home run right, it would have been a little bigger today, but it was close. Yeah.
This is for those who don't know, I'm a partner in Ballparks National, a youth baseball facility and softball facility, the Lake of the Ozarks. We have a company mascot. His name is Sal Bass. And so that is our mascot lid here at Ballparks National, Sal Bass.
How was the weekend? This past weekend? The
weekend was not a sellout. We had teams from Wisconsin, Kansas City, St. Louis, and all over, and it was a terrific example of youth baseball played well. Very competitive. Hard fought to the very end, late yesterday. It was really a good tournament.
Very nice. Rammer, before we get out of here, a word from our friends at Royal Banks.
Royal Banks, always there to help you. And, for over 50 years, a part of the banking community in St. Louis. And it's been just a little over a year ago that Royal Banks went across the river. It has two locations there in Jerseyville and Granite City. Two more locations of Royal Banks where service means everything. Helping you achieve your financial goals is what Royal Banks is all about, from a new checking account all the way up to a brand new mortgage. Give them a call, 314-212-1500, or go online to royalbanksofmo.com. Royal Banks, for better service means better banking. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
That'll do it for today's Suns Out, Guns Out edition of the Daily Cards Live here on ClaimsOnline.com, presented by Mungenast St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri. He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
St. Louis Acura has an unbeatable selection of new cars, like the new TLX with $2,500 in loyalty conquest offers and 0.9% financing for up to 60 months. We have all new 22 MDXs with 1.9% financing for up to 60 months, or get a great deal on a new lease. You can get the 21 Acura ILX as low as $239 per month for 36 months, or the new 21 Acura RDX for as little as $399 per month for 36 months. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.